Blaised. Blaised. Get blazed. Get blazed. Blaised. Get blazed.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Blaise McCoy. We're back with the Get Blaised interview series again, which last year I started. I promised myself I was never really going to do anything like this, but once I started meeting some of these amazing content creators out here on YouTube, I figured, why not bring them in and use some of my old interview skills and talk to them about what they do on their channel or channels. And tonight we got a fantastic guest that I've got to know over the past year, couple years here on YouTube. That's one thing about YouTube that I never really thought about, was meeting these people all over the world and bringing them together. And if you know what we do on this channel, that's pretty much what it is. I say it all the time. Doesn't matter who you are, what you are, where you are, or how you are more than welcome here on this channel. And it's all about bringing people together, having some fun. And I always clown on myself, clown on other people. We make fun, we have fun. Whether you're smiling with me, whether you're laughing with me or at me, you're smiling. And that's all that matters. So, let's thank the people in the chat first, because that's what it's all about. Bringing people together. Monstar's in the house. There he is. Sean Shamrock, my good friend up there in Canada. Great to see you. Some guy named Leo in here. I don't know who this is in my chat, but nice to meet you, Mr. Leo. We have the 1 Minute Wrestler, Jesse Jack, Hammer Nation in the building. There he is. Great to see you. Great to see you. And the House of X, definitely thank you so much. They just did a live stream to kind of pre-show for this. So they gathered a bunch of people that normally come to their streams and say, hey, let's hop over to here. And that's, we do that on my channel a lot too. When my streams are over, I look if someone I know is live and let's give them a Blaze raid. Let's have some fun. Let's go over. You never know when you're going to meet a new channel that you enjoy and want to see more content from. I always say this, I'm 49 years old. No shame in my game, I'll tell you right now. And people here on YouTube make this game way too difficult. Some older folks out there might remember a thing called magazines. Remember these things? Paper magazines, you read them. Well, they come out once a month, and if you enjoyed it, you subscribe to it, and you got it all the time. That's all it is. Go to different channels. If you enjoy what that person or those people are doing, subscribe to their channel. It's absolutely free. Doesn't cost anything to become part of the family, so to speak. Now, moderators, memberships, all that other great stuff we'll talk about. This is about you guys in the chat. I want you guys to learn. I want to learn. Maybe they'll learn some stuff. You never know when you meet a content creator who's doing something a little bit different, but you got to say, you got to be unique. You got to have something fresh out there to make people want to come and hang out with you. Let's see who else we got here. We got some people coming over there, kicking it with the, I'm not going to sing the song like Leo and Wanston do, or all them songs. They got great songs. They got great. That's one thing. The interaction with the fans, with the people that come to your streams is vital. And we'll definitely be talking about that here a lot as well. And Wanston's here too. How about it? Well, good thing the two guests are actually here in the stream. And that's showing the love. Show up in the chat. Make yourself known. Ron Rose Neo in the building. Welcome in. Welcome in. You guys know the deal. If you guys are coming from the House of X, you know the spiel. Hit the thumbs up. Helps the channel out. Helps the stream out. In the description of this video, you will get all the links to Leo, all the links to Wanston, and all the links to the House of X Entertainment. If you're not checking them out, following on social media and subscribing, you're doing it wrong, people, because they stay entertaining. And that's right. The song says it, and they mean it. Always got energy, always interesting stuff to do. They are gems, as far as I'm concerned, the YouTube community. And I'm blessed to have them on the stream. They interviewed me last year, and we were bouncing that video around social media the last couple weeks, so you guys can check it out. I look pretty different. I'm aging quickly, I think. But same thing. Now I get to interview them and find out more about their journey here. And there's many ways to find out their journey that we'll definitely talk about as well. Famous Renty in the building. Welcome in. Welcome in. Clever spelling. I like that. And that's what you got to do. You got to do a little different with your name here on YouTube if you want people to be able to find you. If you go up into the search bar and type your channel's name in and 50 different channels with that name comes out, you got to switch it up. You go type Blaised Radio up in the search bar at YouTube, you find me. You type House of X Entertainment, you find these lovely people I'm about to bring on. And just a couple tips and tricks. We are not experts at what we do, but if we can learn from each other, that's how we all get better. And you know, so many people say there's toxicity, there's hate, there's, you know, trolls and crap. Just ignore all that shit and have fun. That's what I like to say. Triple Beat, my friend, great to see you. Welcome in. JC family in the house. And if you guys are in, you enjoy, you have fun with me, I'm going to be doing more interviews with more content creators. Hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. I appreciate it, as well as all the content creators do. I don't really push the envelope because that's up to you. If you enjoy the show, you want to subscribe, you want to hit that like button, that's up to you. Lady Kenzie, my friend, great to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Always a pleasure. Usually one of the first in my streams, too. I appreciate that. Odds. What's the odds of Odds showing up tonight? There he is. Odds is in the building. Great to see you. A lot of you guys and gals out there know what we do on this channel. A couple different things. We based it basically off of a wrestling video game, which I'll talk about here soon. But I'm not a gamer. I'm not a gamer. People think I'm a gamer. I play old school games, maybe some sports games. I love watching video games. I love the commentary behind video games. I love when people clown on each other. And so I'm a commentator. I'm a voice actor. This is the things I want to do. I want to bring people together and find more about what makes people successful here on YouTube. It's not easy. I mean, just before this, I'm sharing it out to Skype. I'm sharing it out to Twitter, sharing it out to Facebook, sharing it out to my private groups from Twitter and Facebook, sharing it out to my community tab, and sharing it out over here. And make sure you do this. It's a task, and these two guys know very well that's how it's done. Warriors! There's a gamer. So we got gamers out here that do their thing on YouTube. Daniel Barry's in the house, another supporter. And all you members, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. We've had some people gifting memberships lately, which is great. So I will show the video for our members. If your name's not on there, don't panic. I just haven't updated it in the last couple of days. But I do want to thank all the members supporting the channel. That's how we can do StreamYards with more guests, with more features, with more videos. Tonight, we're going to kind of keep it simple. I got my 3 or 4 different categories of questions to talk to them about. Amy O'Moore is in the house. She was live earlier for the boxing fight. She's a trip. She's a great watch. She's always fun. I've been watching her for a couple years here on YouTube. she didn't get to call much of the fight because her TV went out. But God bless you, Amy. You do a great job out there. You're hilarious. Cassie, Madam Red, there she is. Great supporter of the channel. I appreciate you, Cassie. Great to see you. And that's what it's all about, Jesse. Go over and don't just subscribe to the House of X. No, there's not one, not two, but 3 monetized channels you can check out with these guys. Check them out. They've been really working. I hate the YouTube streets and the grind. People says that, everyone says it. You got to grind. You got to be on the YouTube streets. But yeah, it's true. You got to play the game. You do need to try to ask for numbers and get those thumbs up early in the show so YouTube pushes it out. I would love as many people as I could find to see these streams. I love meeting new people, people from New Zealand, from the UK, from Canada, all over the world, and I dig it. I love making an ass of myself, making a fool, laugh at me if you want. It's all fun. It's all about what I like to call escapism. Get away from the real world for a little bit. Come on YouTube. What do you enjoy? What do you like? Is it video games? Is it cooking? Is it travel? Sports? It's all on here. There's communities for everything. Truckers, scratch off tickets, you name it. There's a community here in YouTube for it. But it's not easy work. A lot of you guys out there that pre-produce your videos and upload them or go live, no matter how you do it, anybody can press that live button. I got respect for each and every one of you guys that do that. So before we bring on the guest, I like to tell some of the new people a little bit about myself and how I got to this point, which is not why I did YouTube. It's called Blaised Radio for a reason. It was always supposed to be about the voice, not about me, not about my big ears, my big nose. You can make fun of them all you want. It don't matter. My bald head, of course. But I'm putting myself out there, and that's what a lot of people do when you have a YouTube channel. And it's not easy. You have to deal with people that are just ready to ridicule, that are here just to try to piss on your parade and ruin your fun. If you can look past that and get thicker skin, that's when you can really start to produce and do well. So as far as me, your boy Blaise, I did a bunch of interviews last year. Troxel Sports Talk and Gridiron Blitz both do sports watch-alongs. They kicked us off. I interviewed those two guys. Fabulous. They have been growing so fast. I've watched them since they started a couple years to now the 10s, the 20s, the 30,000s of followers. It's amazing. Big Daddy Beard, I interviewed, gamer, YouTube content creator. Wrestling Days, one of my favorite watch-alongs. Wrestling Days has hundreds of thousands of followers. It's amazing. And he's a humble dude. And that's what I really like about him. He's not one of those guys out there that are saying, subscribe, 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 and all that. I mean, it's part of the game, but if you do good content, the numbers will just come. I know guys that have 100 or 200 subscribers that do great content compared to people that have 7, 8, 9, 10,000 subscribers. So don't let the numbers bother you, although it is part of the game. Jackknife Finnegan, big gamer, great dude, hilarious. Interviewed him last year as well. This is last July and August. Jackknife just recently over 100,000 subscribers as well, and he does GTA and Fortnite and all kinds of great stuff. What a lot of content creators are getting into, and I haven't lately, I'm not really into the TikTok world and all the short videos, but the shorts and the clips and stuff are very big right now on getting more content out and seeing it. Everyone's got short attention span like I do, so I understand it. Mitch Kosky, Bird Gang 31, 2 Philadelphia content creators I interviewed. Both of them have grown their channels significantly since I interviewed them back in August. Had other people on the list waiting to see if I was going to interview them. But when football season started, I do Sunday streams for NFL Red Zone. So NFL Red Zone is when they show 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 football games at once. So I wanted to give people a hub where they can come and check the scores, check the stats, and just hear some wild, wacky commentary from myself. I do a wrestling video game where I have you as the members that are fighting. I don't play the game. I let the computer play it out, and we see who wins. It's always fun. We got people that are tag teams, 6-man teams, and if you like wrestling or not, I got people that don't even like wrestling that come in to watch those shows just because it's fun just to throw your characters out there, see, and it gets wild. It gets wacky. And if you've ever watched one of my streams, I try to make it as entertaining as possible as well. Hey, Johnny Blaze, ain't a damn thing changed. Prince Daniel in the house. Welcome in. Killshot Matt Storm as well. So many people coming in. I appreciate y'all. It's something a little different. Like I'm normally doing Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays where I do the game. And we have different events and everything to go through that. Lately, After football season ended, I decided I wanted to bring the interviews back, and there's no better way to kick it off than with two people that have already interviewed me and that I know pretty well, which we're just going to sit here and talk. We're going to talk about being a content creator. I got some questions, but nothing special, nothing over the top. We're just going to have fun with it. And that's what it's all about. So myself, I have a bachelor in science and marketing. Never thought I would bring it to the YouTube world, but a lot of the things that you're going to hear that I did in my past professions, I'm using here as well. Yes, it definitely gets wild around here. No, never, Cassie. No. But definitely check out the other content creators in the chat. I see a bunch of people already saying what's up to each other. You see a name you don't like, tag them, say hi, check out their channel. That's how you grow your channel. We come from a world where we were going to these grow streams and things a couple of years ago where you find out you can get subscribers however you want. You can even buy them. You can even buy likes and views, but that's going to go away. I like organic. That's why I don't talk about it as much as well. These guys, the same thing. It just happens. They'll remind you to hit the like button. You have to. I forget to hit the like button sometimes, but it's all about family. And they have created a fantastic family in the House of X Entertainment. So I worked for 3 major corporations before YouTube, doing public speaking, doing meetings, organizing interviews, which now comes into play. Some questions that I was always asked or had to ask back then, I like to ask and shoot it towards the content creators, see how they respond. I'm a big sports card collector and memorabilia, as you see behind me, obviously. Big sports fan, basketball, football, etc. And collectors, I do streams on collectors. I was on a show the other night called Collecting Profit, which is all about making money, selling on eBay, things like that. And my friend Anthony from Pittsburgh, I'll be interviewing him next Sunday. I'm thinking about an AEW Revolution watch along, which is a pay-per-view. And then the following week, I'll be back with more interviews with Pittsburgh. And then I will bring on Pete Wall and Vince McSham on the 19th, which will be really fun. We're going to talk about the new wrestling game that is going to come out on the 14th, and we're going to discuss that. I was a DJ for years, music in bars and clubs and all that good stuff. I was a drummer in a rock band. I was a keyboard player in a rap band. I've been around. I was in a dance group in college. So Leo, I'll take you a dance off one of these days because I know you can get it too, my friend. I've been making music and beats at home. A lot of these songs you'll hear for some of the entrances that we're going to do, and we're going to have 4 different little segments. I've created some of those beats from scratch. Not very easy to do, but I enjoy doing it. And of course, with copyright restraints on YouTube, you got to be creative. You got to use your own stuff. Jesse Jackhammer, he's been climbing up, newer channel. He's trying to grow his channel as well. Organic is what it's all about, man. If you can sit back and you can, there's a lot of people I see their YouTube channel will get one viral video. They'll go from 200 subscribers to 10,000 to 7,000 or whatever, but they still only have like 1 or 2 people watching their content. You got to be creative. You got to be fun. Now, doesn't matter if there's 1 person or 100 watching your show. You got to bring it. You got to do it because you never know who's going to see your stream and be like, that dude's fun. That dude's entertaining. I want to watch more of it. I want to learn from them. And what Leo and Wanston also do, which I love, is they do the same thing with channels. They'll show off people's channels, encourage you to check their channels out, and if you like them, subscribe. That's helping communities more than just their community, and that means a lot. Back in the year 2000, I started what's called an eFed, which is an electronic federation. It's where you take created characters and let them wrestle in a game. Anyone who's played fantasy baseball, fantasy basketball, fantasy football, kind of the same thing. Back in the day, it was on paper. You had to send information in. Here now they have video games where it was on Facebook first, where I just had a group of friends that enjoyed it. Next thing you know, I see someone on YouTube playing the game, but having the created characters just fight. And I thought that would be fun. So 850 some shows later, I have done digital wrestling is what I like to call it. We're closing on, well, with all the extra ones, I'm probably over 1,000 streams of that already. And it's hard on the voice because I like to holler. I like to hoot and holler and have fun with it. But that brought me to YouTube. Just the video game. No camera. No interviews. Nothing special. People liked it. People liked my voice. People thought it was ridiculous, funny, silly, whatever. So I thought, let's bring more content to the channel. So I started doing interviews. I started doing vlogs. I started doing showing off the air. I do garden. How many people do a wrestling channel and gardening? I think I'm the only one. If you guys find one that does wrestling, gaming, and gardening, you send them my way because I like to talk to them because I grow food just to eat a little bit of it. I have stomach issues. I have health issues that took me away from my profession and brought me home. So why not make something of it? I've met a lot of people in my community, whether you're mentally, physically disabled, it doesn't matter. I don't call it disabilities. I call it superpowers. I've met a lot of people that are autistic, a lot of people that have all kinds of health issues, and they find ways to get past that and still broadcast on YouTube. Epic Mayhem Wrestling in the building. Welcome in, my friend. Good to see so many different people popping in. And as you come in, hang out. I always say, whether it's a minute, a second, an hour, a whole show, it doesn't matter. As long as you pop in, say what's up. I got people that pop in during their work schedules and stuff just to pay respect. That means a lot. I couldn't thank people enough. Once I started meeting people, I realized I had pull. I had power. Not to abuse the power. I'm a very humble person. I don't pat myself on the back or any of that stuff. But I had the ability to bring people together. I had the ability to do an interview and bring people from different communities together. I would, on a normal basis, go to different communities out there just to see if anyone would want to be a part of our community. And that's how you grow your channel. Some people, it's not for everybody. There's a million different ways to run a YouTube channel. There's no wrong way. However you feel you want to do it is how you should do it. So I do a podcast. I started a few different podcasts. The Legion of Dork podcast that I have is all retro games, video games, toys, commercials, TVs, movies, all like 80s and 90s stuff that we reminisce on. The WrestleSense podcast is strictly on its own channel now. So we've gone to the WrestleSense YouTube channel. My Nightbot will be dropping some very important links in the chat if you guys watch that. And also, and I'll keep reminding you guys, in the description right now, you can check it out. The Instagram, the Twitter, and the YouTube for Leo. The Instagram, the Twitter, and the YouTube for Wanston and for the House of X. Make sure you check them out. You will not be disappointed. The Red Zone play-by-play and Blaze cards and collectibles. I tried to do a little bit more and more and more. But I call it Get Blazed, but it has nothing to do with drugs. It's all about just having fun. Once you've experienced what I do on this channel, you got blazed. And I hope you take some wild, wacky. I always say my WWW is wit, wordplay, and wisecracks. My 3 I's are idiots, idioms, and innuendo. Add a side of sarcasm, that's Blaised Radio. We like to have fun. And we will definitely talk about that, Eric. We're going to talk a lot about in our regular conversation, because you'll see how easy conversation is with these guys, that we'll talk about successes, failures, things you should do, things you shouldn't do, and we'll all learn from each other today. That is my goal with these interviews. So in 2 weeks, I'll be back with another interview. Another one after that, maybe some more. I'll be reaching out. I reached out to some really, really big YouTubers that turned me down, but I expected it. No, D-Train, keep your drugs at home. Good to see you, D-Train. How you doing? Raphael's in the building as well. Welcome in, welcome in. Great to see everybody, man. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. We are going to bring on the guests here. We're going to talk about a couple different things within my brand and what I like to do with an interview to guide us along. And we're going to have fun with it. So without further ado, let's bring on the stars of the show. They stay entertaining with the House of X Entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, Leo and Wanston.
Hey!
What is up? What is up? It feels like I just got done talking to you guys, like we've been hanging out for.
Thank you for having us on your show. We really appreciate it.
It is a pleasure. I went back and watched the video of you guys interviewing me, and I was like, man, I look different. I look weird. Like, that was literally one of the first times I jumped with a face reveal was on one of your streams. I remember I cried. I cried a little bit because we got emotional. That was before the interview, but that's what Leo and Wanston do. You two, you bring out the best in people. I can definitely say that. From watching the different content you give to growing with you guys to show, and just, I mean, it doesn't take me long to judge a person. I can tell right off the bat how friendly you were, how welcoming you guys are, and how much fun you have with what you're doing. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Eli is in the house. Welcome in. So many great people. And what we're going to do, we're sharing communities here. That's what it's all about. You guys have grown 3 monetized channels. That is something to be so proud of. I couldn't thank you guys enough for what you've done for me. I know you didn't really purposely do anything, but you're being yourself, and the experiences I've had from watching Leo game to watching Wanston cook and make me hungry all the time, to the inspirational videos in the morning. I used to, brushing my teeth, listening to Wanston, getting inspired for the day. And everything that you guys do when it comes to your merchandise. I mean, you're writing books now, you're growing your channels, your social media, but the number one thing is you're helping people. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I think that's so important. You're sharing your life and everything you guys have done and how you've been raised, and you want to spread that love. And it's really showing, guys. I mean, I'm not blowing smoke. It's just the way it is. It always seems like I'm kissing the ass of the people I bring on here, but it's true. If you guys that know me and have known me that in the chat have been here for a while know that I don't sugarcoat anything. And if I'm telling you something, mean it. I have no reason to lie. I'm not here to fabricate stuff to try to fool people into anything. I just want to be real. And that's what I see from you guys is real. It's who you are. And I'm so glad that you've chosen, no matter what the path was, to share everything you have with everybody here on YouTube. There's too many difficult, annoying, evil people on this platform. There needs to be more Leo and Wanstons. That's basically where I'm getting at.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I received that.
Yeah, and we joke around. Me and Leo bust each other's balls sometimes about gaming and wrestling and stuff, and that's what it's all about.
If you can make I've never been world champion yet, but that's another story for another day.
You're getting there. Need I remind you again that Wanston has more wins than you now.
Now you're starting to stir the pot. I see where you're going.
But it's all in fun. So we'll get to the first segment here. I have 4 different segments we're going to go through. The first one's called The Basics. So we'll be right back after this with the Blaise Basics. Stay tuned. All right, let's get down to the basics. Now, I'm going to take it a little step further. Normally, I ask my first question is normally how you got started as a content creator and what your channels are about. But I want to go a step further. You guys have shared this story on your channel before and stuff. How did you meet?
Okay, well, I have an entertaining background. And I happened to meet Wanston on this website called MySpace, which I was very heavily on. Like, I knew how to do everything, the music, background, everything. Now you get to these platforms and he does everything because I don't know how to work none of this stuff. So that's how we met on MySpace. I don't know if you have a different
we met on MySpace, and in some way, somehow, I think I had probably either delete my page or forgot the password, and then we lost contact.
That is not how that went. Okay, let me walk y'all through it. Okay, we're going to start from the beginning. At the time that I met Wanston on MySpace, I was Mr. Gay New Jersey. I was a state title holder. I had just won a pageant. So when you win a pageant, you're really in the limelight. You have to do interviews. You have to raise money. You always have the camera in your face. And on social media, when new people, old people, any type of people interact with you, they want to know who you are or if you can come. So when Wanston was in my inboxes, my first thought was like, let me be nice because I want you to come to the show and, embrace and see what everybody does. Yeah. So I'm like, well, who is this with this orange hair? Because I remembered Wanston having orange hair. Bright orange hair, and he's light skinned. That doesn't even make sense to me.
I dig it. That's personality coming through.
Okay. I was like, okay. Hey, how you doing? And he's like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm okay. And I think somehow we lost contact on MySpace, and we wound up meeting again a couple of years ago at a drag show.
Yeah.
I perform, and as I'm coming around to collect my coins, okay?
Coin.
Wanston by the door, but his friend was standing in front of him, so I went around and tapped Wanston and said hi, and I got to finish the song, finish the flips, and all this other stuff. So I ran to the back to change clothes real quick so I can come out and say hi to Wanston. I get to the front where Wanston was standing, and him and his friends left. And I'm going, I know I'm not bugging. Wanston was just standing here. Let's go. So I opened the door, the front door, and they're like way down the block. And I was like, well, I'm not about to run down the block. You know what I mean? So I didn't think that. No, I went back to do the show. And then we lost contact that time. And then Wanston, once again, found me on Facebook.
Yeah.
By this time, I was very happy to see Wanston, but very shocked. Like, wow, you found me again. Like, what's going on here? Like, are you stalking me or
Friend
not?
or stalker? Yeah, there you go.
Okay. But when he found me on Facebook, I was actually happy to see Wanston. Like, hey, how you doing? He was like, hey, how you doing? So much had changed besides the last time we had met. So I mean, that's how we got reconnected, and then we just started talking from there.
Yeah.
So now Leo in the New York area, but Wanston's not from New York, right?
No, Wanston's from St. Thomas.
There you go.
And how was it growing up in St. Thomas?
I came to New York at the age of 18 in 2008. It was the year after I graduated.
Gotcha.
I had graduated in 2007. My plan was to stay a year in St. Thomas after, leave right after. So after 2008 came, I left and attended Job Corps.
Oh, you went to Job Corps?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to Job Corps. Didn't make it that far.
And the rest is history, right?
Yes.
But I mean, you guys can see right there, just a connection between these two. It's a beautiful thing. I can tell that you guys love each other and you guys are best friends and you just feed off of each other. It's a beautiful thing. Like, it really is to see that you guys share that with everyone. And I've heard the story already. I just wanted to hear the story again here about how you met, because it's a great story. I mean, that you don't just meet people on the internet out of blue. And a lot of times you don't even know who that person is, where they're from, what their background is. But this is a true love story here, folks. People, a happenstance that happened that now these two can be happy for the rest of their lives. And I'm with you on that, man. I think
it's cool because I didn't know God had designed it that way. I was like, wow, we met each other passing life to get here. And it's just like, I couldn't have seen that coming a mile away. Because I'm a very shy person when it comes to talking. Like, I can entertain all day, whether I'm dancing or whether I'm just talking. But actually, meeting people and, hey, how you doing?
I think I told Leo it wasn't meant to be at the time when we saw each other on MySpace, because I was in a dark space in my life at the time, and I believe he was as well. So I think God had to design it that way for us to just reconnect, because we weren't at stability in our life. In our life, that time, even though we knew who each other were, but we didn't have stability during that time when we knew who we were.
Yeah, because when me and Wanston reconnected for the third time, I actually had a job. Okay, shout out to me having a job at the time.
There you go.
He was in New York. I had actually quit my job and spend the rest of my life with Wanston. I was at, I think, like McDonald's for like 2 years. I was employee of the month. That was a goal of mine because I really didn't want to work at McDonald's. I mentally, I was at a like low place mentally because I was like, Leo, you're like 28 going on 29. Why are you here? Out of all the places you could be, out of all the jobs you can get, like, why are we at McDonald's? So I felt like my life for a second was going backwards. I'm like, okay, you don't hit rock bottom, but at least you have some money in your pocket. You know what I mean? Shut up and keep the money, honey. Okay.
Now, you guys went into business together, though, for a while then. You ran your own drag show for a while, right?
Yeah. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Okay.
I don't want to leave that part out because running a business with someone you love, with a friend, with a relative or anything isn't always easy.
You know, I'm glad you opened that door because let's jump right in. It's easy for people to look at us and go, oh, Leo does this or Wanston does that. I always give credit to Wanston because I had to learn from him in the beginning when we were doing the drag shows. Mm-hmm. Because when I have friends, I'm trying to put everybody on. Like, you do the door, you're in the back, so everybody can get paid. Wanston had to teach me when it comes to friendship and business, it's two different things because your friends will screw you over at the end.
Amen.
So sometimes I would have to just shut up and watch Wanston as he's leading because it's like, okay, I have to see what's going on because as a friend, you're not thinking as a business person.
True.
You're thinking as a friend, like, oh, that person will be fine at the front door. And it's like, no, they can only stay up there for 1 hour because they're not good with money. Or, you know what I mean? The next person has to break them while they're performing. So I actually learned when we were doing the drag shows from Wanston. Like, Wanston's very good at handling situations that are like really shaky. Because we had paid a DJ one time to come up there and do the DJ for us.
Yeah.
And he didn't come. And because I have a music background, I had an iPod. But I didn't know what to do at the time. I said, well, Wanston, how are we doing the drag show? And there's nobody to do the music. Like, what is going on?
So it was a situation. We had paid the DJ, paid them in advance, and the DJ's wife, before the show, was having surgery, very high surgery and everything. He had already agreed and said, I'll make it. So literally about an hour before the show started, he texted and said, I can't make it. That he had to turn back around because they had to put his wife back under. Oh, boy. So that moment, Leo was looking at me like, what are we going to do? We don't have a DJ.
Okay, I'm a panicking whore.
So I went to the lady at the bar who allowed us to use the space. I said, do you have a speaker?
Yeah.
Something with an AUX card and a microphone. So luckily, they had when Radio Shack was still in business, there was a Radio Shack.
Wanston didn't know that. I had to tell him. I said, well, there's a store like down the street that, has radio. You can go get a wire. So you have to go get a wire to connect all this.
We went to the store.
I don't even think I knew that.
We went to the store, bought the AUX card, and we were still able to have the show.
Yeah.
Ever since then, we never paid a DJ.
Yeah. I was like, well, since I know music, I'll be the music. You can be on the host. And I'll go up there and you can go up there and break the person for the door. Because they have to go back and change, and you got to count the money, make sure it's all there, Yeah. So I did a lot of watching and learning and how to separate friendship from business, because you want everybody to get a piece of something, but everybody can't handle every position you put them in. You know what I mean?
It's a hell of an experience too, to not only to work together and find ways to overcome obstacles together without tearing each other's heads off, and then learn, like you just said, learning from it, learning what Wanston does better, what Leo does better, and then just figuring it all out, and then being successful at that level is even easier once you figure that out. Yeah.
For my experience, we do that all the way around, even in our relationship. So I think when it came to business, we took that same advice and crossed it over. Like, okay, let Wanston be good at what he does, and Leo, you be good at what you do. Because if you two try to do each other's job, you're going to take each other's heads off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to find a common ground. And I think the relationship you guys have, and like I said earlier, you guys complement each other so well that it shows in your, where one you do better than the other picks up, and one's down, the other picks up, and it's just it's such a great combination between you two, and it shows in your content. Which the normal first question is, how did you get started in YouTube as a content creator? We know how you guys met each other. What made you start saying, let's put content out on YouTube?
Okay, I'll give my version of the story, then you can give your version. Okay. So originally, we were just like, when we knew about YouTube, but we did not know that YouTube had a monetized program. You can be content creators. At the time when we were doing shows and performing, we were just uploading our performances for the shows just so that we can have documentary.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Then when something had happened to me, if you buy the book and you read it, Leo found out that you can be monetized on YouTube and you can get paid off of YouTube and you can be a content creator. So then that's when, life came back to normal for us. And then he said, well, Wanston, we should. And then the pandemic had hit. So there was no bars, there was no clubs, there was no restaurants, there was no bookings. So then pandemic hit, and then Leo said, well, we should just do YouTube. We should take what we do and bring it to YouTube. I said, go on YouTube and be content creators? I said, are you serious?
Yeah, when we first got here, we didn't know anything about getting paid or half the stuff that you have to do with the share.
A lot.
We had to literally look everything up on Google. How do you do this? How do you connect this? What does this mean? Yada, 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 yada.
I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people don't do that. They just dive into YouTube and think, I'm going to make tons of money because I'm funny or I'm this and that. But doing the research really helps. Just going in through your analytics, Googling stuff about YouTube content and stuff. That's brilliant. More people should do that. Maybe they won't have as many problems down the line.
You know what it is? I knew when it came to YouTube, I would be doing the entertainment because of my personality and laughing. And I knew what Wanston was good at. And I said, well, Wanston, let's sit down and do the research together so that you understand the logistics of what we have to do. And then I can handle, the people coming in and making them laugh. And then, it'll take off that way. I had my channel first. And I said, okay, if my channel takes off, Wanston, I don't want him to feel like I left him behind, or, I don't want us to be arguing about, I want to do a channel. So what I did was, Wanston, let's start together.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do my channel so I can talk about what I want, and you can do your channel and talk about what you want. Because I knew we had two different personalities, so when it came to talking about certain issues, we were going to be on the opposite sides of the table. And I was like, I don't want to argue with him. I don't want him arguing with me. So we would depend on each other to carry each other's show. So as we were doing Content Live, Wanston at the time would be holding the phone. And because my husband is a morning person, and at the time we didn't have a schedule, Wanston would be falling asleep as he's recording me as I'm trying to tape stuff. And I just, I was like, well, me and Wanston get along, and I don't want to yell at him, and I don't want him yelling at me because then we'll never get anywhere. So I just started playing off of whatever was going wrong. It was like, so as Wanston's sitting there falling asleep, I'm like, Miss Mary, what are you doing? I'm taping. And we just started laughing. And the people just loved everything we did. And it was like, that's the chemistry right there. Anything that goes wrong, play off of it, because you can't control what's going to happen around you.
Yeah.
Like we were doing a live one time.
That's a great point.
And it was
that's a great point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
roll with the punches. Whatever the world gives you, enjoy it.
Yeah, the show has to go on because the people want to be entertained. They don't want to see you screaming at your spouse.
Yeah, like I tell a lot of people, you just start with what you have. Because when we did our separate channels, we didn't know how to do no thumbnail. We didn't know how. We didn't even
stop
know.
Right there, because once again, Wanston taught me how to do that.
Yeah,
Wanston. When we got here, we didn't know anything about a thumbnail, but as we grew, I was like, well, Wanston, thumbnails look like the flyers that we made for the drag show.
Yeah.
I said it should be like the same dynamic. Sit down and see if you can make a thumbnail the way you make a flyer. Yeah. And that's how we started making the thumbnails. And then later on, he would teach me because I would want to make my own thumbnail for what I was doing.
Yeah. Well, thumbnails are very important. I mean, when you go to all these content creators and you see all these shows, you want something that sticks out. You want something that explains what the video is without too much going on in the thumbnail. So there's a trick to it. I mean, and I, as a graphic designer in the past, I used to throw too much crap up on there. And I'm like, wait a minute. It needs to simply just show what the video is about. And that's it. Like I went into too much depth, but they're very important. Very important.
But it's cool thumbnails because we make them two different ways. Wanston, like I think, studied how you're supposed to make a thumbnail. So he would be putting the words and the colors, and I was like, Wanston, you're making the words too big. Like I don't want my thumbnails like that. And he's like, no, it has to go like this so they know what's going on. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just go with the flow and we'll see how it works. And for the House of X, it actually works that way. Now, for my channel, I don't make my thumbnails like that. I either make it personally myself or I just take the cover of the game and make it the thumbnail.
Gotcha. So, in a little bit more in depth, Leo on his channel will do more gaming. So, he has a bunch of different games he'll sit there and play or recorded videos up that he'll play. Wanston does cooking. And I tell you, I'm not joking. When you do your cooking streams, I get hungry every time. Yeah. Because I think you both have it very well. You can tell that your past is in entertainment. And it says it right in the name. But you can tell that you guys have experience working in the entertainment field.
Yeah.
Based on how your channels, your two individual channels are different.
Yeah.
But the House of X channel brings it all together where you just do vlogs. You showed stuff from your cruise. You promote the book because Wanston did just write a book, everybody. It's amazing how you guys have shown 3 different ways to be a YouTuber, basically. For real. I mean, not a lot of people can do that. That's talent. I mean, people get stuck on one channel and just have that channel do everything. Where if you can, I mean, to have 3 different monetized channels is very, very, very impressive.
Thank you. We didn't start like that. We actually started doing TV reviews.
Yeah.
We broke those up too because we watched a lot of TV shows when we first started.
Gotcha.
So I was doing the Have and Have Nots on mine and another TV show. And then Wanston was doing Empire and
Greenleafs, and it was Pose.
Yeah. And the other show, Power. We were doing Power.
Watch-alongs, reactions, and reviews and stuff like that.
Reviews were actually working. Yeah. But then the pandemic started and it stopped all the TV shows. And we're going, okay, well, what are we going to do now? Because I'm featuring you on my channel. You're featuring me. We're doing this together on, our separate channels. This is way before we even got the House X.
Yeah.
So as the months are going, we're like, okay, well, I have a whole bunch of CDs. I'm going to just jump into music. Wanston, you have a spiritual background. Maybe you should, get up here and do a little inspiration, pray for the people. And the funny part is I gave Wanston his schedule because I knew Wanston was the morning person. Because Wanston would be trying to hang with me at the evening and night. And I said, Wanston, you get up at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I said, you should be like starting your day and starting YouTube and their day praying with them at 7 a.m. so everyone can, start their day with a good prayer. Yeah. So I actually gave Wanston his schedule in the morning and it was working.
Yeah. And see, during that time, and our channel separately has transitioned 3 times.
Yes, transitioning.
So when you love what you do,
no matter what you do or not,
what people say, no matter what somebody say about you, you're going to continue doing it. Because originally, I was supposed to be just strictly doing cooking. That's what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. But when folks do not know your circumstances or what you're going through at the time, we are very transparent with people. We tell you, listen, this is what we're going through at the time. Yeah. This is where we're living.
So as I was doing music, not to cut you off, and he was doing inspiration, we were in an apartment that was great. But at the time we got to YouTube, the apartment was starting to fall apart. Yeah. Not our one apartment, but the building was starting to fall apart around us. So Wanston couldn't do cooking in the old apartment. So he had to wait until, God blessed us with a new apartment. Mm-hmm. So once we got the new apartment, he went right into cooking.
Yeah.
At the time, I had met a bunch of lovely gaming channels, same as Blaise. Okay. And they were convincing me to do gaming. And I didn't even know gaming was a thing on here. Like I didn't know it was a niche. So as I'm watching Blaise do wrestling, I'm like, oh, wow, this looks amazing to me, because he took a whole bunch of people from the internet and made them into superstars on his platform and in his video. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. I was like, this is like fucking amazing to me. Like, what? You know what I mean? And I remember I was like, yo, I want to do that, but I don't want just a wrestling channel on there, because I was like, wrestling, not to say it's too easy for me. I already know that's one of my strengths. So I was like, let me jump into a few things and then put wrestling up there as well, so they get a whole vibe of what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And, that's how I had the gaming channel. And shout out to that boy Ro, because he really was on the phone helping. So my motivation was Blaise on one hand, and then I had another gaming person on the phone with me as they were telling, get the green screen, and these are the lights you need and the speakers. And it was really a transition for both of our channels, because you had to now buy things that you need. Yeah. Now Wanston's buying food to make content. Now I'm buying stuff to make the content for the video game. So now we're spending money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's very important, that a lot of people don't realize that you have to, once you start to grow your channel so much, there's a point where you need to put money back into it to make it grow. I didn't want to do membership because I couldn't justify someone paying me $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 a month when I wasn't giving anything back. Then when this StreamYard stuff started, I thought I need money to pay for the bonus StreamYards. So then the membership made more sense. I like to give things back to them with my merchandise, with giveaways, with, stuff like that. So I wanted to justify not just a little stinking emoji, as a membership. I wanted my members, and you guys do the same thing, really value your members and give them shout outs and praise them. And the one guy I talked about earlier, Jackknife Finnegan, every time a member comes into his stream, he says, thank you for being a member and supporting the stream. And I mean, that's kind of the same feel we have. You guys do it. I do it. If you don't pay love and respect to the people in your chat, they're the ones that do this for us. And I'm glad you brought up the pandemic, because when that happened, what happened to YouTube and content creators? 4 times, 5 times the amount of people are now on YouTube because they were at home too. Yeah. So it became even more of a competition.
When the pandemic hit, the celebrities are now on YouTube as well. So we're
everybody's got a podcast
competing against everybody now. It's like, well, how am I supposed to get to 100,000? And you got so-and-so who's an actor, and now they're behind the computer screen.
On your stream right before here, one of you guys said something that really reigned supreme. We talked about growing organically earlier when I was talking about myself, and you guys said the same thing. You have 3 monetized channels. Now, whether it's 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000, you're still monetized. So I mean, just enjoying, like, there's so many people I know that have under 1,000, but their content's fabulous. Yeah. They just haven't got there yet. I know people that have 20, 30, 40, 50,000, and their content is boring to me. I don't know how they do it, but it just happens. Or like I said before, you get one lucky viral video, and next thing you know, you got a million subscribers or a couple 100,000. And it's not about the number. It's about the content. It's about
I would tell everybody, take your time with YouTube, because what we did in the beginning when we had our separate channels, and this is why I like having 3 channels, because you actually got to physically see the difference. Yeah. The House of X, and we'll get to that channel in a minute, doesn't move like the other 2. When we were building Yo, It's Your Boy Leo and It's Me Wanston, Yes Honey, there were growth streams. So you can go get your numbers up real quick and be like, oh, I'm at 1,000. And what that does is it helps you with that one number, but now you have to hope that these same people that are grabbing you watch you. So I would tell everybody, don't focus on the subscribers because the content is supposed to make your channel grow.
Subscriber number 1,020 is just important to me as subscriber 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to put so much stress on 1,000. Yes, that's the number that you can start making money and be monetized, and it makes a big difference. But, you know, from having 2,000 to 3,000 to 4,000, it's not really that much of a difference. If you do consistent content and you continuously try to be fresh and do something new, the good stuff will come to people who work. And it's a lot of work behind the scenes, more than just pressing that live button.
I'm glad you said good stuff will come, because that's how I would describe the House of X channel. Because what we did business-wise when we had the separate channels for our membership was we made everybody a cup like this. It's green, so you can't really see it.
Yeah.
And on the front, it had our House of X logo, and on the back, it said me and Wanston's name. And what we did for the memberships is we introduced everybody to what was coming. It was like, let's start to introduce them into the business of what's coming. So once we did that, we started coming up with strategies to build the House of X. And what happened is the House of X actually took only 1 year to get monetized.
Yeah.
Our personal channels took a whole lot longer than that. And in the beginning, it was, what were we doing? Even in the beginning, we wasn't like, we had interviews in the beginning because that was like the content. But we did food reviews in the beginning when we built the House of X, because we knew a lot of people were going to want to see people eat. So it was like, you know what, let's kind of piggyback off of that to get the people over here. You know what I mean? And then we had the interviews, and then we did the vlogs. No, we had it was the food reviews, interviews, and the unboxing.
Yes.
When we moved into the new apartment, Wanston was like, well, let's do vlogs. I was a little concerned because I didn't want the camera in my face constantly. I was like, I'm moody. I might catch an attitude. I might say the wrong thing. Child, get this camera out of my face. Okay. And Wanston was like, well, we need to do vlogs. So we cut the food reviews out and started doing vlogs.
Yeah, because originally there wasn't supposed to be a third channel. And I'll tell you the reason why.
And hold on, just to answer the person's question, because I'd seen the comment earlier. I watch WWE, but I'm caught up to AEW to some degree. But I do try to watch Impact, at least on YouTube, to catch up with that stuff.
Yeah. So when we built the
WCW better than all of them. Nah.
Yeah. When we built our website, and the guy who was helping us to build it, he had advised us to do another channel, particularly just for the company,
which I was against.
So we said, okay, we got to go back around the block a third time.
Yeah.
So we did the food reviews. We had to stop it because, you know, my pressure went up.
Yeah, Wanston's blood pressure.
And
so we had to like change the whole diet.
Yeah, and then
which I kind of needed because I'm older than he is. Yeah. So you don't know what your body needs until it's time to start changing some stuff around. Then it's like, whoa.
And then
adversity.
Yeah, we cut my soda out completely.
And then the weight went up. So then after that, we added the blogs. I think then when we moved here is when we did, like, I think the first blog, it was the moving into the new apartment.
Yeah, because a lot of people wanted to see what the apartment looked like.
Yeah.
Then we did the interviews, and all the channels kind of connect to each other. Like, that's how we built everything. Yeah. Like, if you're gonna have a gaming channel, take some of those lovely people that you met and interview them on this channel, because then it connects it. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the mukbangers or the food channels. Like, take some of that and interview them on here, so everybody knows that, you know, the channel covers everything.
Well, you guys are a shining example of, you know, not too many channels can get away with just doing one thing only, and you guys have really dipped your ink into a lot of different wells there to try to get, you know, what you really like to do. You've done the vlogs, you've done the games, you've done the cooking, you've done the reviews, you've done the food stuff. There's so many different things.
Honestly, it's kind of like you. When you have a resume outside of YouTube and you bring it to YouTube, it's kind of easy to piggyback off of it.
Yeah.
So if I play video games in real life and I know wrestling like a T and I know music, Leo, that already covers your skills and what you can do.
Yeah.
If Wanston cooks and can write and do all this other stuff, that covers your skills. So then you get a channel and you mix and match that on the channel, and it kind of covers everything you do at one time. We just have 3 different channels that show our resume. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna dig deeper. Go ahead, finish your thought, Leah.
Thank you. Now, business wise, and this is how smart Wanston is. I'm always gonna give him credit. When we made the 3rd channel and memberships, I was concerned because I was like, they're already paying for the other 2 channels. They're not gonna want to pay for a 3rd. They're gonna think we're greedy for money.
So you want me to talk about this?
You know what I mean?
You want me to talk about this one?
No, I was gonna.
How about the interviews?
Oh
no, about the membership.
I was gonna lead them and then pass
you.
it.
Go ahead.
Wanson's smart because he made the 3rd channel about YouTube.
Yeah.
If you needed something, it covered a banner. If you needed something, it covered an intro. If you needed something, it covered editing. So I was like, I'm always learning from Wanston and amazed of how he puts things together. It's like, why didn't we do that for the other channels? And I was like, I'm actually glad he saved it for this channel because it makes sense. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Oh, well, because there wasn't nothing else we could have probably offer.
Yeah.
And we was already giving everything from our separate channels.
Yeah.
And because we were more so of a content creating, supporting channel when we started, so it was the best thing to do it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I would do, like I said earlier, I remember all the grow streams and bumping around, and with YouTube nowadays, they will, if you have 15 people to subscribe to you, but their channels are empty and they don't do anything after so long, you'll lose those subscribers.
Yeah, YouTube has changed where if you don't leave a genuine comment or you don't watch the full video,
legit follow them
in its entirety, they will take you away.
And
I got no problem with that.
Here that we interviewed Warrior, we interviewed Tamina,
yeah,
and we have Goddess of Pain. In 2 months, she'll be coming to our show, so we're excited about that. Get it.
Man, you're gonna interview Goddess before me? That's not fair.
Well, we go way back with Goddess. Back to
Goddess is amazing. I dig it. I'll be down for that one, sure. So that sums up so much that I hope some people out there took some good things from it, from not only just pressing that button and going live, but being creative, being innovative, having fun, trying new things, all of that together. But now, I don't know if you hip hop fans out there remember a group called Digital Underground from back in the day. That's where Mr. Tupac started. A group called Digital Underground. They had a song called Do What You Like. So now we're going to find out what they like in a segment called What You Like, coming up next. All right, so here's where we take the interview to a different level here. Instead of just the basics on what you do. If you guys want to find out more about Leo, about Wanston, about the House of X, once again, in the description, all the links are there. Find them, and you will definitely have fun with what they put out there and just brighten your day. That's what it does to me. When I see Leo, Wanston, or the House of X live, I know it's going to make me smile, and that's what it's all about. So what you like? Here's the first question, and you guys can answer together, answer separately, or whatever. What is your favorite part about being a YouTube content creator?
My favorite part about being a YouTube content creator is to make people happy. Whether if it's to come on and just say hi or hello, and the person says thank you for coming on. Because when I still remember this to this day, when I was doing my inspirations, morning inspirations, there was this one person came out of the blue and told me thank you for doing your live. It brightened up my day because I really was feeling like I didn't love myself anymore. And I always tell people, you can touch somebody by cooking, by doing a review, by just going live. YouTube is nationwide, and whatever you do, you don't know who you're touching. So it's just about making somebody feel good. That's what makes me happy.
Wanston, I'm glad you said that too, because those inspirational videos, and I'm not a morning person either. Like Leo said, you're a morning person once, and he's not really. I'm not either. But when you did those inspirational talks, number one, I called it my extra church. And number two, it doesn't matter what denomination you are, what God you believe in or whatever, the way he would talk or preach would just be a generalization of treat people the way you want to be treated and be a good person. And it was so uplifting each morning to listen to you. I mean, you have a natural speaking voice. It obviously you could tell that you didn't have like a list of things you had to cover. You were just shooting from the hip and you feeding off of what the chat gave you. And you're very talented when it comes to that. That's a hell of a talent, my friend, to be able to speak to any type of person and bring them in to be thankful for what they got, whether they believe in God or not, whether they're prayer heavy person or not, just to bring some light into your life. What about you, Leo? What's your favorite part of being a content creator?
There's so many things I like about. I'm stick behind Wanston about making people happy.
That is.
But there's two things I'm really, really proud of. One, I love making friends.
Yes.
Like when I grew up, I had a lot of friends because we're all like all my friends come from the same block, and then you go to school, you meet more friends. You know what I mean? So I love that part because I'm such a friendly person. So I love meeting people. You know what I mean? Being on YouTube, like you have a million friends. You know what I mean? So I love that. That was one. Two, I love the interviews, and I take so much pride in the interviews because doing the interviews was my idea, and me and Wanston, we go over ideas, and I'll throw an idea out, and we'll see if it sticks. So to see the beginning of where the interviews were and where they are now, and for so many people to stand behind the brand and love what we do, it's just so touching to me because I'm like, you know what I mean? When you first said interviews, I'm thinking, let's aim for the stars already. I need Little Kim on the show. I need DMX on the show. You know what I mean? And it's funny how you can do something that's so small to you, and it means so much to so many other people, and it grow the way it did. You know what I mean?
That's what it's all about.
It made me take so much pride in what we do.
You both you're brilliant at sharing your gifts, I think is a good way to put it. You have God-given gifts, and you want to share them with people that you meet here, and I can't speak enough for it. That's the same. I'm in the same level playing field. That's what I want to do. If I'm not giving back and entertaining and teaching or learning and all that, I don't want to be here. If I'm just sitting here playing a game or just sitting here talking to you, that's not what I'm about. Brooklyn Joker, good to see you, my friend. But that's good stuff. But let's flip the coin over. You know about what your favorite part of being a YouTube content creator is. What's the worst part about being a content creator?
For me, it would be when someone judged the book by the cover.
Amen.
When folks think that they know you or they judge you and they really don't, they have not walked in your shoes. Just because you see someone living nice or put on something nice, or they can afford to go outside, or they may be able to come on here. You don't know their circumstances. You don't know how they're living. You don't know what they're going through, or you don't know if they're able to eat at night or if they're able to pay their rent.
Amen.
Yeah, true.
A lot of times you come across people and folks judge the book by its cover, and you don't know. And I think that was one of the reasons why I wrote my book, and I wanted to tell everything, because it's like you can't judge somebody just because of what you see. A lot of times, even on social media, Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, folks might just judge the appearance of a person. And instead of getting to know them, it's a different story, you know?
That's an amazing point. And it's something that I say a lot, and I mean it in my shows. You never know what someone's going through or what they've gone through before. So I always say, considerate, be considerate. If you are considerate of other people and understand and get to know them a little bit, just like you said, you never know. And I'll throw mine in here too before we go to Leo. One of my things that the worst part about being a content creator is the anonymity of YouTube. I can right now create a YouTube channel called Yo, It's Your Boy Leo. Take your picture, put it on it, go in the chat and say stuff all over the place and pretend I'm you. And there's nothing stopping people from doing that. So you can go into the trolls, you can go into the people that are just there to piss on your parade or try to ruin your fun. That's where I had a little bit of an issue at first, because I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But like you said, we don't know who these people are. It could be Jimmy, but it's actually Jane behind the computer. I don't care. You know, but how do you get to know people when they're on the other side of the planet? You're here. So it is conversation. That's why when I bring people into my show, my wrestling show, I don't just say, oh, hey, there's a new person in the chat. Let me bring you on. No, I want to know, do you have a Facebook, a Twitter, a Skype? Let's talk. Let's find out about each other. I'm not going to blast your personal life on the internet unless you tell me to, but you got to get to know people a little bit. Don't take everything for granted, because I talked about this on one of the other streams about making people moderators. A couple of years ago, people would make people moderators as a gift, as a prize, but that's not why it's there. There's other ways to reward people in the chat, but people would be like, oh, you get a jacket, you get blue, you get a wrench, you get this. But the only thing a lot of content creators don't realize, that if you give everybody in your chat a wrench, and then one of those individuals doesn't like what you do or say,
they go your whole channel.
Even when you're not live, they can go and ban everyone.
They can.
And it happens. I don't want it to happen to people. That's why I preach about this so much when this comes up. Do not give moderators for gifts.
YouTube has switched it now, and this is why I tell people, moderators are people that's been with you for a long time. You can trust them. They're not going to harm your channel. They switch it now to where they have standard moderators and managing moderators. The managing moderators can basically control your chat for you. You don't have to do nothing but host. They switch it to where those moderators have so much power. Read the YouTube guidelines. There was one time I went into a live years ago, and the girl was on her live. She said, if you are coming in, I cannot see you because someone has literally blocked all my subscribers. And this was a moderator. She was a part of the beef sector. You know her.
Moderators should help run your channel. They basically work for you. So you could do your content and they can worry about the chat for you. Because for the first few years, I can still, from habit, I can do both. I'm sure you guys can too. But it takes a little bit of eases it a little bit when you have people you trust, that you've known for a long time, that will take care of someone who's going to say something inappropriate or spam in your chat and stuff like that. So that's a brilliant point. Leo, what do you hate the most about you being a YouTube content creator?
What do I don't want to say I hate.
Not hate. What's the worst part about being a content creator?
Because hate is a strong word. I don't think anybody should have hate in their heart for anybody or anything. Because I'm such a friendly person and I love people, I was actually mentally prepared for everything but losing friends. Like, I didn't prepare myself for that. You get close to people on here and then you have a little debate with them, and before you know it, they hate your guts. And I'm
most of the time it's over petty stuff too.
And it just blows my mind. And I think I'm at the point now where I'm a little more standoffish now because I don't trust people. It's like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm just get on, entertain, and get off.
You got to have confidence that you're going to entertain no matter what. And you can't please everybody at once. That's what I tried to do. Then I had a couple people that were close friends of mine. Then I hear they're talking stuff behind my back in other chats, or they're saying this about me and that, which that'll bounce off. I don't care. But if I shared live streams or private chats with you or personal information, and then you're shitting on me on the other side, it's really tough, but you got to just drop the ball and move on. You're right, Leo. It was tough for me too.
They have to make their own decision whether they rock with you or rather they listen to the gossip.
I almost quit.
I blocked everything out as much as possible.
Absolutely.
So, okay, we're finding out what you like. Let's go a little bit deeper here. I'm gonna hit you up, Leo, first, because I know who is your favorite superhero or villain? I know you're more into this.
Oh my God. One person or a team? Because my favorite superhero is actually X-Men. I don't have a specific.
Okay, fair. That's fair.
Pick one. I like the whole team.
So you like do you have a favorite villain? Bad guy?
Probably Magneto. I like Magneto. Like, I love the fact that he controls the metal, and I like what he stands for because it's understandable. He's not a villain because he hates mutants or hates the rest of the world. Like, the people killed his parents, and that's what made him bitter. And I was like, that's reality. Something can trigger you to make you change if it's, you know what I mean? And I was like, I totally understand that. And then what I love about him is his friendship with Professor X.
True. Because
he's on the
dynamic
side, all the time. But they have this bond that can never be broken. So it's like they respect each other's point of view. And I said, that is such a great thing to have in life. So I love X-Men. Like, this story is just amazing to me.
I got you. So Goddess taking us back to the last question a little bit. If she has a problem with me, she goes to me. And I learned that from Goddess. She was one of them that, sometimes all as it takes, a lot can be lost in translation from a typed message. So I've learned more to reach out to someone in a private message or a call or a chat and be like, hey, what's going on? Let's talk about this. And a lot of times it's just a misunderstanding. I lost friends because of stupid little misunderstandings about what someone typed in a live chat or something. Yeah. And I think that's petty. And, a lot of times with just a conversation, you can
You know what it is?
Resolve that.
When you're an adult and you're a business person and you crash with somebody, you have to handle it as an adult. When people crash on here, if we were all in our 20s and teens, it might be a different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you're working towards a goal and people are investing in you and they love what you do, you don't want to change your own energy over something so small.
Yeah.
Very good point. So this one's for Wanston. What is and Leo, if you have a comment or a story you want to add to, by all means, what is the best comment you've ever got on YouTube, whether it's a live stream comment or a DM or something that may have just, made you really feel special? Or can you think of a specific comment that someone gave you that really hit home? Whether it's live chat or DM, any type of message that was like, wow.
It would have to be something saying, you guys are awesome, inspiring. Keep doing what you do. I enjoyed the live stream and the energy was great.
Yeah.
To hear inspired is it touches me too. So I'm with you on that. When someone says, you inspired me to do this, or I have my channel because I saw you guys do it.
Yeah.
My heart just drops when I hear that, because I don't know how to explain it. Like, how do you put that into words, man? Just being yourself. Let someone else go outside of their box to try to do it. Like, people, I want to do a show.
What's funny? When people first started saying it, I didn't know how to take it because I wasn't used to hearing it. I get that. I don't understand what this word really means. Like, how am I inspiring you? And I'm just, to me, coming on the internet, making you laugh. So, after you hear it a couple of times, you start to understand what you're doing more.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're not just doing YouTube. We're not just doing interviews. This comes with the whole territory. Like, we're brightening up somebody's day. They could have been depressed today, and seeing you change their whole world. Saying hi or calling them, or, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't know if I have a specific comment, but I know there's people like Warrior and people like Monty and Tamina and yourself that'll inbox us and ask us if we're going on. And that means so much to me, because it's like, you never think people are waiting for you to come on. I could be having a bad day and you want to see me? I think that is so cool.
Well, you guys do a lot of premieres and upload videos and stuff. So it's sitting there waiting, and you can see, like, there's 4 people waiting.
Yeah.
Like, that hits home. That means like we're their TV show that they can't wait to watch.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because you take it seriously, you take it responsibly. Now, like I said, anybody can press the live button and go live. But if you got people that are consistently following you, like you see the same names, like literally you can go live at any time of the day and this or that person's probably going to be there. Yeah. That is so huge. Like, that's a true follower, not just someone who wants to come in and hear their name said or get praised. They legit love what you do and you entertain them. That's huge. Finding out what people like is very important. That was the second segment. Just the basics of how you got started is always the root of what we do. Now I'm going to go back in old hip hop world again. MC Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock had a song called "It Takes Two to Make a Thing Go Right." Remember that? It takes two. That was a great song. There's a part of the song where it says the situation that the bass is in. I'm kind of stingy. That's why I don't want to win. So the situational questions are very important in professional interviews. I've done those so many times. They put you in different situations and see how you react. So the next segment is the situation that the bass is in. Let's see how these guys react. Now, this segment differs with whoever the guest is. For some people, I'd have show and tell and have them react on something or show a word or a phrase or a picture and have you like word association or stuff like that. I've tried a bunch of different things. But tonight, number one, and let's see, I think Wanston kind of touched on something similar to this before. So I'll go to Leo first. And if Wanston, if you have a situation, you can explain it too. Tell me about a time you turned a negative situation into a positive situation here on YouTube.
On YouTube, Nick. I want to say I do that every day because I look at YouTube and I go, there's people watching you, whether they're older or younger or your same age, and you want to lead by example. I don't want to come up here and be positive and making people laugh, and then as soon as something happens, my reaction is just, well, let me tell you off and you want them to know how to handle situations all the way around because they could be bullied in school. And it's like, let me teach you how you handle this in a professional setting and a professional way because you're not going to change my energy because you're having a bad day.
Yeah.
So I apply that to my everyday life.
That's brilliant. And I've had a lot of experiences too where if someone comes into a live stream chat and they're like, well, I'm having a bad day or this, I don't want to bring down the whole chat. So I normally don't pay it tons of attention, but in the back of my head, my game plan is make that person happy.
Yeah.
Find a way to make that person happy. Because if everyone started coming in the chat and telling us what's bad going on in their life, oh, that would be a terrible stream. I don't want to sit here and
funny. People actually do that. I think one person that comes in our stream is Kitty Blue, and normally she's having a bad day, and she's just so happy to see our energy and us. So we always sit there, and this is why I started singing more on the House of X to cheer everybody up, whether it was a super chat song or say their name, or I was like, this is what people need. They need happiness. They need great energy. They need to know that they're loved and feel special because you're gonna meet everybody on here one day somewhere.
Yeah.
And they're going to run up to you and give you the biggest hug because you made a small difference in their life that could have saved them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
one of these days,
everybody on YouTube.
One of these days, I'm coming in. When I come to New York, you guys are getting the biggest hugs I ever gave anybody if I ever meet you guys in New York.
Actually,
I love you guys.
I love you too. I think it calmed me down. And this is going back to what I was saying earlier. If I was younger, my reactions to certain things on here would have been so much, let me open my mouth and just curse you out. And
you gotta get thick skin.
That because guess what? Not only am I a business owner, not only are there people watching me, I'm 38 years old, going on 39.
You're a grown man.
Yeah. After a while, that looks just corny. Now, don't get me wrong, you have the right to defend yourself, but do it in a respectful way. You know what I mean? To me, anytime we've crashed, I always look at it as a small problem.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not gonna sit there and say anything negative because there's no need to.
Yeah.
This is a small problem. You just can't see it right now.
Yeah.
And if we never speak again, then that's fine. But I'm gonna pray for you because your energy needs to be focused on something different, not how much you dislike me.
Yeah. If you can deter someone from the bad day and turn it into a good day, or heaven forbid, and I've seen this a million times. My friend Pete Wall taught me this very well. You get a troll or someone comes in and continuously digs at you or says stupid shit. If you can flip them. Like it's easy just to hit ban or to time them out. But if you give them, I always tell my moderators, if someone comes in doing dumb shit, give me a chance to play with them first. Let's see. Yeah. And if I throw jokes at him, maybe like, well, this guy's funny. This guy's silly. I like this place. That's the ultimate thing. If someone, I used to teach my employees all the time, no matter what you're selling, whether it's computers, sporting goods, cell phones, if someone comes in and goes, you know what? I want that one, and that one with these things. All you're doing is you're clerking. You're pressing the buttons and selling them something. If someone comes in the store and goes, you sold me a piece of crap and I hate this company and you guys are all mean and you guys are all assholes. If you can turn that customer into a follower and continue to buy, that's a hell of a job.
Yeah. But it also goes back to what you said. When you're friends with people, they do share personal stuff. You don't want to throw that back in their face because what is that going to accomplish?
That's why when someone comes in
down and telling you things you've already told me is going to do what? That's going to make the situation worse.
I don't want to kick someone when they're down if they come in and say they're having a bad day, but I don't want to sit here and, come, let's have a session. Tell me why you're having a bad day and bring everybody down either. Yeah. I want to collectively bring everybody up, including that person. Cassie Madam Red, big thanks to you. She gave a gifted membership to Paragon of Greatness earlier today, but thank you so much for that membership. And I tell everyone, I always take an extra step because this is just me. If you get gifted a membership, there's no obligation to keep it. I understand. If you monetarily cannot support the channel, I will not like you any less. If you can, I love it that you can and appreciate it. But I always say, and I have a t-shirt on my TeePublic store that says it, loyalty is currency. And here on YouTube, that reigns supreme. Hitting us up is free. That costs you nothing. Subscribing, sharing it out, bringing your friend back to the next show. That's what it's all about. So thank you, Cassie, for spreading the love out there.
Cassie!
Wanston, let's go back to you. And then same thing. Ask one person a question. If the other one has an answer too, you can chime in. So we're still in the situational stuff. Wanston, tell us something about yourself we might not know.
He's not really gay.
Stop it!
Something that you do not know.
Did I ever tell you guys my uncle? I have a gay uncle.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, my uncle. I love.
How gay is he? Is he like two snaps in a circle gay?
He's short shorts and Jesus sandals gay. So and I love him to death. He's great. He's show to chest hair with the chain type.
Okay.
And they were actually from Brooklyn Heights. They lived in Brooklyn Heights for a while until they moved to Florida. My Uncle Bob, big shout out to my Uncle Bob out there. Love you. So tell me, is there anything that we might not know about Mr. Wanston that you want to share? If you don't, nothing that you don't want to share.
Okay. Well,
I don't think a lot of people knew you were from the islands. I know we talked about that earlier.
A lot of people do. I was born in St. Thomas Virgin Islands. Yes. U.S. territory. What some people don't know, I do help folks find apartments. So that is, I don't really share it on my channel, but I do.
There's a title for that. Go ahead, Miss Mary.
That's amazing.
Homeless prevention specialist. So yes.
Yeah, Wanston comes with a lot of gifts and talents.
That's something to be so proud of, man.
Yeah. I always like push him because Wanston doesn't like to talk about himself. And I'm like,
that's all right.
Wanston, you have a lot to talk about and be thankful for. Like,
that's such
a loving. You want to talk about me, honey? I'll talk about you, honey. Okay.
That's a loving, giving personality trait that is tough to share. Yeah. And I'm the type of guy too. If I'm stopping at the store on Thanksgiving Day and I see someone fumbling over, I'm gonna give them some money. You know, I see someone less fortunate, I want to help them out. So that's amazing, Wanston.
You
I didn't
hear
know
that, right? He said he's giving out money. Did everybody catch that? I'll take a donation.
Even more amazing to me. Well, okay, so
Wanston, you are even more amazing.
That has to come with some trials and tribulation too. That can't be a very easy thing to do, Wanston.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give a sneak peek. And if you want to know more,
well, you ain't gotta give me just tell me got a book. If y'all want to see, honey, it's in the book, boom.
If you want to know more, you can get it. So another thing that a lot of people don't know, which I did share in the book, is a chapter in the book. I disclose my diagnosis in this book. So Goddess of Pain, we can relate on certain issues, not your particular issue, but we both have a diagnosis. So I did disclose my diagnosis. So that was one thing I wanted to share, being a part of YouTube. Because a lot of people...
I'm going to get the book. Yeah, get that book, honey.
A lot of people think with my diagnosis, it's a death sentence. And it's not. You know, you can live, you can, be healthy and still have a partner. So, yeah.
You got a partner, girl? Oh, shit.
That's a shining example of, I'm trying to get the right words. It's a blessing. It's something that, without going into detail, you said a lot without saying much. And like I said before, there are at least over half of my community that are either autistic, physical disability, mental disability, something like that. And it's not, I don't like saying disability. It's just, you're different. And if we were all the same, it would be boring. So no matter what God has given you, whatever you're dealt with, deal with the cards and share the love. And what you're doing is giving back regardless of what may hold people back.
Yeah. So like when I decided to do the book and I had made up my mind to do it, I think Leo's first thing, he was like, you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, like we always run things by each other because I'm like, once you put all your information out there, like, are you mentally prepared for the positive and the negative? Same thing when we got on YouTube. Are we mentally ready for this? That's why my first video on my channel was actually our wedding. Because I was like, I don't want people, are y'all gay? Or, yes, we're married and gay, honey. Get into it, honey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So the purpose of me writing it, I wanted to let go of everything I have already went through. And the hurt, the pain from childhood to even before marriage. So that was the purpose. And
I married? Oh shit.
Keep it cute. And I wanted to be able to help other people. And then, to touch folks, to let them know, hey, it's okay. Someone also went through this too. So that was the whole purpose of it. Just getting that out there.
Now, I'm not going to go too into detail because if you guys want to know more, buy the damn book.
Okay.
Yes.
Blaise will be buying his tonight, right?
It's the best example of sometimes you got to get knocked down before you find out where you really need to be. And I believe that true. When I got sick and I was, lost my job, lost my wife, lost my car, lost my dog, my life was like a country music song. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm going to find a way to overcome. And a lot of people, I wake up, I can still breathe, I can still walk, I can still talk. I'm blessed for that every day. So I'm thankful. I could sit here and complain about everything that's wrong, everything that hurts, everything that feels bad, but I'd rather concentrate on the good things. And I hide it very well. I can be having the worst day on the planet, and I do a live, and it seems to go away when I go live. You guys have that same feeling sometimes?
Yeah, because we balance each other out. Half the time I don't feel like we have 3 channels, and sometimes I just want to be on my channel. And Wanston's like, we have the house day. So sometimes I'm not. That's why I started wearing glasses even more. I was like, okay, in case I'm in a bad mood, if I'm in character, everything will just flow.
Well, I was worried about
when he's having a bad day, he's feeding off of my energy, and I'm feeding off of his energy when I'm having a bad day.
But I was worried, I got black under my eyes. I got tweaks and twerks and stuff that because of my bad shoulder and my bad back, and I was always worried. But I don't really care. I don't really care. I just have fun with it,
Well, I'm glad we met you because I think you're a blast of fun.
Mm-hmm. I want to give back. I could have easily crawled into a hole after what happened to me in my personal life and never went outside, never dealt with anybody. But this saved me. It gave me purpose again to where I could use everything that I learned in my previous professions and share it with people, give them light, give them love, give them fun, and entertain people. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Okay.
One more situation, and this time I'm going to go back to Leo for this one. It's an old saying where if you can have dinner with any 3 people, alive or dead, who would it be?
Oh, wow. If it was
anybody, famous people, friends, 3 people you could choose that you'd love to meet, that you could have dinner with. Any 3 people on the planet, fictional people, real people, it doesn't matter. See, mine would be like Spider-Man, Michael Jordan.
My favorite rapper is DMX, and he's no longer here. May he rest in peace. I would have loved to meet him and have dinner with him.
That'd be a fun dinner.
Okay, but just to talk to him and let him know how much his music meant to all of us.
There you go.
Because his story is so real. You know what I mean? Like he was more than just a rapper. His demons were real, and for him to know God and share the story and pray with the people and just share that on each album or each concert. It meant so much. It's like
how many hardcore rappers have the Serenity Prayer as one of their songs, huh?
Okay.
DMX was a prophet, if you ask me. I really think he was. He had great things to say. Crawl, go listen to Crawl again.
What you know about DMX? You gotta stop it.
Make sure you guys check out the book. You can find a lot more about Wanston's journey. From what I hear, there might be some more books in there.
I don't know if to meet somebody, but if I could bring somebody back, I'd bring my mother back. Even if we get to have one dinner together. Because I know she's proud of where I am now and me being married, because I'm the first person on my side of the family to be married. So that's an accomplishment. So I would just love to have a dinner with her just to hug her.
Bring your mom back. Bring DMX back. Who's the 3rd person you're sitting down with dinner?
3rd person.
It doesn't have to be Wanston. We know he would be on the top of the list regardless.
Can I name two people?
Yeah.
They're going to be wrestlers. One would be Mr. Perfect, and the other one would be Owen Hart.
Okay.
I would have loved to met them just to hug them. I think the way Owen died is so dramatic and heartbreaking for an entertainer that we all love, that we all understood the storyline, whether it was made up or not made up. Having an older brother who's a role model and the champion, and you being the younger brother and being a little envious or jealous or, not understanding why your career didn't kick off. Like that, the story they told was so amazing because it was a real life story. You know what I mean? It's like somebody watching you can identify with what y'all are telling.
I agree. And you pick, and specifically, I'll take it a little step further. You pick 4 people that are no longer with us. And I say this all the time. let's celebrate the people we love and we enjoy while we can. A lot of times it's posthumous. It's after they're already dead that we're saying, oh, I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have done this. And that's one lesson I always love to preach here is, whoever is in your life, friend, family, foe, hug them, tell them you love them, whatever you can, while you can, before it's too late. I don't want to be that person who said, I never got to tell that person I cared for him or loved them. And I say it all the time on my streams, and there's no shame in my game. The people that come and support my channel, I love you. I really do. I mean, that's amazing what people continue to come back. Even people who don't like football, they'll pop in my football stream. Hey, just stop it and drop a like. Don't like wrestling? Hey, I'm just here to say, give some shout out to Blaise. I appreciate that. And I know you guys see that a lot too. One more in the situation.
Is dope. Like, what's there not to like about Blaise? Like, I'm happy we met you. You have no idea. Like, I love wrestling and I love what you did with your characters. And I was just like, this is like its own TV show within its TV show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I don't want it to be just that. I mean, because a lot of people, they come in, they don't realize that it's not just me sitting there playing a game. It's literally me bringing 80 different people together to celebrate and learn how to lose too. Because, people get so upset, and it's role playing. It's like Dungeons and Dragons. If anyone's ever played that, it's a role playing game. You get sucked into this character, whether it's just like you or someone you've always wanted to be. It's a beautiful thing just to let go. Everyone deals with trials and tribulations every day. Sometimes it's good just to let go and enjoy some weird fun. All right. Now, Wanston, you're alone on an island, not the one you were born in, but you're alone on an island. What 3 things do you take with you to that island?
3 things?
Yep. You're alone on an island. You can only take 3 items with you. What 3 items are you taking on the island with you?
My bag that would have all my personal items that include my wallet, my wallet, my identification. That's my bag.
The bag covers a lot, and that's good. 1 item, but covers a bunch of items. Now, I'll tell you what not to do. And I told my dad this question, and he goes, I'll take my cell phone. I'm like, you're on a desert island, Dad. What are you going to do with a cell phone? That doesn't help you. But no, your bag of stuff that's very important to you, that's number 1. What else you got?
Okay. Something I can use to make food with.
Survival kit. There you go. Something to survive on. That's always very important.
And I guess something to wrap me if I have to sleep in the woods.
There you go. Fair enough. So you're thinking about taking care of yourself at night, thinking about eating, and thinking about having some of your luxury items that you love. That's brilliant. That's perfect.
Yeah.
He should have said his husband, but it's all right.
That's why I specifically said items, things, not people.
Leo,
I'm not putting anybody on the spot. All right, now we're going to do one last segment, which it's a little pet peeve of mine, not big deal. I say things too, like, to tell you the truth, or honestly, like, oh, you're going to tell the truth now? What were you lying before? So people say to tell the truth a lot, stuff like that. And if you know someone who says at the end of the day, they probably say it way too much in the beginning of the day, in the middle of the day. This is just a saying people say. Yeah, Leo has to stay home, says, well, it's an island. You never know if other people will end up on the island. So we'll play a little game called At the End of the Day. But before we do that, I'm going to open it up for the chat to ask questions. So if anyone in the chat has questions to ask Leo or Wanston, or collectively as the House of X, put it in the live chat. What is your question you want to ask them? And as we go into this final segment and we get our final thoughts, I'll also pick a couple questions from the chat and see if you guys have any good questions out there too. So let's make it a little interactive. I like to do that on all my streams at one point or another. We give all the shout outs. We always try to involve you guys, but I like to take that a step further. We play a lot of games with the chat. When I do giveaways, we do roulette, we do pick a number and stuff like that. Anything to get you guys involved, because you are part of the show. Yeah. Everyone who stops in this chat is a part of the show. It makes it even better. That's why I don't really do a lot of uploads of videos that I've made. I did one of the mountains here and a couple tours I did, but I'd rather be live to interact with you guys. That's what I really, really enjoy. So get your questions out for Leo and Wanston as we go to the final segment, which is called At the End of the Day. All right, So before I get to my final questions, Joker wants to know what 3 things Leo would take to the island.
Ooh.
So now you're on the spot with 3 items.
I don't know how to cook, but I would have to have something to cook on.
I was going to say, keep. Winston had great answers because you want to learn to survive and stay warm.
I want to say toilet tissue so I can wipe my hiney.
You don't want to use poison ivy to wipe your ass.
Okay, then you don't want to in the hospital.
TP is a good one, or anything to use as TP. That's a good one.
Oh. Obviously, what would I bring? And I'm a fashion person, so it'd have to be something that's going to keep me warm. So and that's
fur coat or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, and stylish, not just any clothes. Okay. You want to look good, of course. I know you. And I respect that. I envy that. So third thing. You got your clothes, you got your TP. What else you taking? Or did you already give a third? Something to cook with?
I gave third, I think, didn't I?
Yeah, you said something to cook with to make sure you have three. I'd take like a spear because you got to like kill fish or kill animals or something to cook them if you're all by yourself. Good. That's good. That's stuff I would take. All right, here we go.
Well, I'm a water sign, so they would naturally come to me. We speak the fish language.
Then you're going to eat them. Warrior says, Wanston, what's your favorite thing to cook? I actually had that question before, but I didn't ask it. So
it would be anything Jamaican. So either curry, oxtail,
jerk chicken is one of my favorite.
I love jerk chicken. So it would be anything Jamaican. And also like fried wings or fried chicken.
So when you do wings, what do you use? Any type of specific sauce? Because I know there's a million different types of sauce.
Yeah, I like to either I like to mix around and either put it in a honey sauce or like a barbecue sauce.
I'm getting hungry. You're making me hungry. I'm telling you. Listen, people, don't take my word for it. Go to Wanston's channel. The link's in the description, and just look for a couple cooking videos and email me, DM me. Tell me you didn't get hungry. I guarantee you got hungry. There was another good one I just saw here. What's your favorite holiday, you guys? What holiday is your favorite? I think it's the 26th of June is your favorite holiday, right?
Well, it would have to be, that's our anniversary.
It's your anniversary. It's my favorite song. It's your anniversary. Remember Tony?
Yeah. I would say Christmas.
What today is?
We might have two different answers. I like Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Thanksgiving? Christmas?
Yeah, Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Those are good ones.
I think for me, it's just like we grew up in my house always being together. And because I'm married now and my sister and brother are busy, that's our time to spend together. You know what I mean? So it's always good to like come together for Thanksgiving.
I think Triple had a question.
Yeah, it's part of my next question. So we will transition from Triple Beats into my question for at the end of the day. So how do you guys recommend expanding your channel beyond your niche? And this is a good question because we've already discussed it earlier. These guys have done a lot of different things on their channels.
Expanding your channel beyond your niche. So Triple, I would say, get out to more creators. And as far as like, if you want to like brand your channel, think about if you're going to do a website or if you're going to do merchandise, if you're going to, if you get monetized, are you going to offer a membership and what are you going to do for your members? If you're looking as far as more subscribers, there's ways to go about doing that. Connect to the right people that will help you grow.
I think you touched a couple of things that I definitely wanted to talk about anyway. Finding people to come to your channel is not easy. You can't do that only on YouTube. Your reach is only so far from the YouTube channel. So to me, I have a website for all the LTD stuff. I've talked to Leo a million times about it. He can go in the middle of the night and find out what the matches are tomorrow, who's fighting who's the champions, who's this and that. That's important. I think if you have a website
one time to update him because
I was off. And I always make mistakes. I'm not no shame in my game. I'm not perfect. And that's one thing that can help. Having a website that kind of, even if it's just a one-page website that just explains what you like and what you do. Social media is huge. I just talked about it earlier.
Is it Triple Beat?
Triple Beat.
I would say, for me, one, add to your resume. And if you have a resume already, bring that to YouTube. Instead of having one niche, start to take your channel and put different things on it, and that'll bring people in.
Yeah,
because you'll see that you have a lot in common with different people.
Whatever you like or whatever you're good at, put it on YouTube. It doesn't matter if you think people are going to like it or not. If it makes you happy getting that content out, you can have your own little TV show and call it, whatever you want, and just come here and talk to people. A lot of my favorite streams of these two are just them shooting the shit with the fans. Just, hey, this is our come together and talk. And when you got people that, can hold conversation like these two can, you obviously see it during the stream. Super friendly, open to conversation. That's what it's all about. Go outside of your box, Triple B. Don't be afraid to do something that's out of the normal. Like when I started doing the football streams, that was not comfortable for me to sit there for 3 hours and try to call a football game. But when I started,
what's funny? When you started doing it, I didn't even know that you were like into football, and I was like, "Wait, this channel really is about to take off," and he's just doing football. And I was like, "Blaise likes football," because I'm used to the wrestling. The Guardian I thought was a good touch, but I was like, "Wait, he knows football?" I was like, "Oh wow!"
Basketball is my favorite sport. That's what I know everything mostly about. I was the white guy that could dunk in high school and college. I love basketball. I was there all the time. That's my sport.
I'm just gonna do a brief review because Triple, you asked so. This is and being a creator, you have to learn how to take.
I wanted to answer somebody's question because they asked, "Do we have?"
MRTV, how you doing? Do we watch video games?
Do you guys play video games? I have a gaming channel. Yeah, I play video games.
He plays some of the real old wrestling games too. They're really fun to watch.
Yeah,
and Leo interacts and talks and does funny, silly stuff. You guys make jokes with me because I do Blaisey karaoke and sing weird songs. Leo is entertaining as hell when it comes to stuff like that. The full of energy and always trying to say something funny or off the cuff. And it comes natural to you, my man. I'm not saying that you're going to do anything. But you know what it is?
When people see us on it, this is our real personality.
Yeah.
That's why I said when it comes to a situation to be angry, it's like, well, I'm not going to be angry because my natural energy is positivity.
Yeah.
So I have to turn this into a positive situation because I'm not a negative person.
Yeah. So to answer Triple's question,
Leo,
this is
DX or NWO because it's Wolfpack in the house.
This is what you need to do because I took a look at some of your videos. One, hashtags are very important.
Huge.
Hashtags are very, very important. So if you're streaming from your game system or your computer, you have to use hashtags because that's how people are going to get to your channel.
And there's more than one place to put those tags too.
Yes, you can put it in your title and your description. That is very important.
And there's a place for tags every video.
Yeah, and also when you do your video or your live stream, there's another box where it says put tags. And also you can keyword search and your title for your stream.
That's a great practice.
Another thing, take a day to go meet other gamers, other creators. If you see somebody that comes up on the community tab or on the search bar, go in, just say hi and share them or say anything. So that you can also
no doubt.
You can also gain subscribers from that because if you go in and that person has maybe one person watching or two or just three people in there, they're gonna connect to you. So the hashtags, the keyword searching, and going to different streams, it will help you grow your subscribers.
Yeah,
that's a really good point. I mean, you cannot have too many hashtags.
Do more than wrestling. I do more than wrestling on my channel. Yeah, I play a whole bunch of games. Def Jam Vendetta. I play a lot of Marvel games. Team Marvel all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that all leads to the question that I wanted to do, and I thank you, chat. That's something I always wanted to do is open it up to the chat to ask some questions to add another dimension to the interview. But this is the question I really want to get to here in this final segment. At the end of the day, what advice? And this we've already touched this throughout the whole show, but just to sum it up. And each of you guys can chime in on this. What advice do you give to a new or growing content creator?
Run away from Blaise. Don't even come over here. Just run for the
hill. I would say, take your time. Don't rush it. Take your time. When you're supposed to get monetized, you will get monetized. Grow your channel organically. if you don't know something, ask questions. But make sure you connect with the right people that is willing to help you, because a lot of people are not willing to give you the information that can help you. Some people will charge you just to do a banner. Some people will charge you just to edit or YouTube information. I say this all the time. None of the stuff that we know, nobody told us. So when you come to us and you say, hey, how you do this? Okay, listen, we'll give it to you. That's why we set up our channel together with our channel membership is for the creators. First level, you get a channel banner, and we make sure that we constantly run your playlist and we constantly find people to connect to you. Second level, if you don't know how to do an intro, we'll help you, a channel banner, and then it goes on from the last one. You know, so it's all about helping you get your channel off the ground. But take it slow, don't rush it, and ask questions.
And on top of all of that, with some sprinkles and ice cream attached to it, make sure you're having fun, people.
Yeah. So
if it ain't fun, then why are you here?
The first thing I take that Wanston said to heart, which is really good, is to reach out. And this is something I didn't do for the first couple years because I figured
my answer's not good enough now.
It's coming. I'm
starting not good enough now.
No, it's fine. Okay. I'm starting with Wanston's. Take your time. I'm going with the top wrestling performer first, and Wanston. Then we'll get.
You know. I can always step in the ring with you.
To go back to Triple Beat's question, reaching out. You have me.
Now,
you have this entire community that we've built. So reaching out to me or anybody else, I'm here to help whoever I can. You have the House of X now and their community. Our communities together, we have a lot of intertwining people that I've seen on their shows, they've seen on mine, and names that we get familiar with. Reach out is such a great advice that I didn't take at first that I wish I would have. You know, just chiming in, jumping in someone's DMs. Hey, I really like what you're doing on your channel. How can I get better? Check out mine or whatever. Or like when you guys do channel reviews, those are humongous. I thought about doing one here, but if you guys want to, these guys do it on a regular basis. They'll pull up your channel. And that's the thing. If you have video that tells everything your channel does, real summary, if you have a good header, if you do those tags, because that's how people find you. Tag, all you can. It's extra work. It's tedious, but it helps. When I was doing the Red Zone streams, I would literally have Dallas tag, Cowboys tag, Pittsburgh tag, Steelers tag, Pittsburgh Steelers tag, football tag, American football tag, live football tag. And what I started to do is when I went live for the football stream, I would go log out on my computer, go into YouTube, go to the search bar and type in Red Zone football. And see if my stream popped up. I was popping up in the top 10. So it was getting out there because of the tags and the thumbnail and everything that you do. It all comes together in one big ball of organization, originality, and like Leo said, the most important thing is fun. It is the most important thing of all. If you're not having fun what you're doing.
How they want to add me in at the end, right?
Mm-hmm. Save the best for last, Leo. Hey, there's Doc. What's up, Doc? There is one.
Let's talk. Why does Wanston have more wins over me? Let's get down to the juicy gossip.
The computer does it, man. I don't do it. I'm trying to get Leo to understand that I don't control the characters for 2 years now. I just let them fight. That's a discussion for LTD. This is getting blazed. So good advice. That's great advice. I mean, that's stuff that you don't hear just from going into someone's live stream. So I feel that I got to ask, what advice you would give to people. So shout out to Tristan. Shout out to Doc in the house. Doc's another gamer where this is where I started, where I really wanted to get into gaming without gaming. To see someone like Doc, someone like Leo, someone like a lot of these gamers where they're not just playing the game, they're commentating over it. They're telling you what's happening and they're entertaining you while they're doing it. I don't know if it was MySpace or Vine or whatever these little short videos started popping up on social media. It was normally someone saying, I'm going to, doing those shooting games and making fun of, I just got shot or I fell off a cliff and clowning on it. And I was like, that's fun. I want to just commentate people's video games. I don't got to play. I just want to make fun of and clown on them, like when they're playing GTA or something. You can take anything and make it entertaining here on YouTube. These guys are the example right in front of you that can, number one, overcome adversity. Number two, work together. Number three, try new things. And you have your specialties. Like I said, Leo does gaming. Wanston does cooking. Together, they entertain everybody. And it's such a beautiful synergy with all three channels and you two individuals that you are blessing us with the entertainment. So I will blow smoke now because you guys are that damn good at what you do.
Did you hear that? Did everybody hear? We are the good guys, I tell you. The good guys.
Big shout out to Doc again. And he does it. He's fun. Just try to be entertaining while you're playing. So the next question is, and it's for both of you, what's next for the channel? What's coming up soon on your channels? I know you guys are getting ready to go on a cruise again. I'm jealous. Do you have a suitcase big enough to fit my skinny little white ass in, please?
We do. We're going on our second cruise. This one is Leo's birthday cruise. We actually turned it into a small group cruise. Everyday Life with Ron and Rose is actually going to be there.
Sweet. Warrior was supposed to come, but he's scarred, but it's all right, you know.
So we've turned it into a group cruise meetup. We wanted everybody to experience the fun and the enjoyment that we did when we went on our first one. And then after we come back, it's my book signing. I'm having a small book signing in New York, at the Dallas Barbecue in New York City. And then after that, we are going to be in Philadelphia in June.
Yes.
Ooh. Blaised Radio. So if you can get to 30th Street, Market Street.
I'm on the other side of the state. I'm 6 hours away from Philly.
You could drive.
No, Pittsburgh's here, Philly's here, but I got you.
You can drive 6 hours.
Well, I didn't get into it too much, but I said it earlier. I was going to elaborate that I would stream every day if I could. I got health reasons that hold me back. Some days I literally can't do it. And that's why a couple years ago, I was streaming every day for a while, 2, 3, 4 hours a day. And I just had enough. I couldn't do it. I wore myself out. So I guess that's another advice that we could tell people out there too. It's addictive once you start growing and having fun. And when he said, take your time, that's exactly what he meant. Don't overdo yourself and spend everything you have to where you're getting ill or you're getting sick. I was very sick for a good while. And I realized I needed to organize. I need to make sure I got my 3 days a week or 4 days a week or whatever. Yeah. I'd stream every day, all day if I could, because I love bringing content to people and doing new stuff. I'd be doing basketball games on a regular basis. People have told me, and I know I can call a basketball game. I've never done radio. I've never done broadcasting. I've just been a retail manager and a DJ and stuff, but all that comes together and anyone can do it. Don't let whatever is holding you back physically, mentally, emotionally, stop you from getting on YouTube and having fun if you really want to. So you guys had a really busy month this month. I heard you guys talking about it on your stream earlier. They do interviews. They give interviews. 3 monetized channels. That's something really to be proud about. And I definitely wanted to reiterate that to you guys. But before we go, here's what the final thought has to be. You have to start your final thought out with, at the end of the day, and then say your final thought. So you have to start out your final thought with at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, we're all human beings and we're all different. And we all just need to get along and have fun here on YouTube. That's mine. So at the end of the day, Wanston, let me hear it.
At the end of the day, we stay entertaining. And I'm Wanston.
And I'm Leo.
Yeah. Hey, man. We didn't get into the songs and stuff that they sing. They sing when they get a super chat. They got a super chat. They got a super chat. They got songs for things. Leo with his get it. Wanston with the coin. You guys have it. The sayings, the fun stuff, the innovation, everything that makes House of X entertainment isn't the House of X. It's Leo and Wanston. It's inside here that you guys have brought out to give to everybody else. I love you for it. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
You're going to hear bad stuff from people. You're going to hear trolls. You're going to hear negative shit. This is the good stuff. You need to hear it. You don't hear it enough. You guys are blessed with talent and gifts that you give back to people on a daily basis. And we all thank you. You might not hear it from everybody, but I'm personally thanking you. And I think everybody that's been on your streams knows that it is a blessing to be a part of the House of X Entertainment. And I'm glad to be a part of it as well. Leo, at the end of the day, my friend, what do you have to say for yourself?
At the end of the day, y'all should definitely go to www.houseofxentertainment.com and buy some merchandise. Yeah.
They do have, and that's one thing I touched on. I have my little merchandise page. That's another thing. We talked about having a website.
Let me just show y'all. Hold on, wait a minute.
Dealing with social media. Yeah, show and tell before we go here. Social media is a big deal, man.
We have a book bag, and it says
T-shirts, mugs, you name it. They have their own brand, their own merchandise out there.
For greatness, don't let anything stop you. So definitely go get this bag. If you're
at the end of the day, don't let anything stop you. I love it.
Okay, is you letting something stop you? Oh no.
Hey, if you guys aren't already following them, like I said in the description, all their social media links and their YouTube page are all there. Definitely at the end of the day, stay blessed. There's too much negativity in the world. We're here to bring some sunlight and some shine into this world. Put a smile on your face, whether you're laughing with us or at us. We're silly. We're wild. We're wacky. I love these two dudes, man. These are great individuals. These are fantastic people. These are a shining example of what good YouTube can bring.
Yes.
So for that, peace and positive vibes to each and every one of you guys and gals out there, your families. Stay safe. Stay tuned to Blaise Radio. And y'all just got blazed.
Okay, get it.
Hey, and I'll see you in the streams, my friends. Peace. We're out of here, and thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us, Blaise.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I'll be seeing you.
Get blazed. Get blazed. Get blazed.
I love that. Really, I was like, oh. I can't believe that man is over there. I said, what do you want to tell people something?